Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away. Mama, ooh. That ain't even close to how cats think or move up in this here power universe on the continent of force. These cats pop off like every episode. And 2 minutes later, they somewhere eating a pot pie or some eating a cheeseburger. Tommy will pop a cat. 5 minutes later, he eating a damn chili dog in his car, washing it down with a damn big gulp. I digress. Out in the open like it wasn't nothing. 'Cause it wasn't nothing. Like nothing really matters out in these streets, these treacherous power book streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Real. H to the OV. I used to move. Welcome to Grown Movies and TV. Very appreciative to be back for another episode recap of that good Power Book 4 Force, Season 2, Episode 8, entitled Dead Reckoning. And this episode is brought to you by that dark liquor and Coke, Diet Coke, 'cause I'm old. You know what I'm saying? Old school. Let's just get down to brass tacks, shall we?
House music.
So we start off with Tommy and Vic, still at the scene of the damn crime of Agent Vargas. Tommy tripping, trying to make sense of it all, you know. 'Cause he done just found his so-called associate, the man that he considers a partner, potentially in conflict with his get money ambitions. Snitches, get money. Snitches, get money. You wanna sip mo on my living room floor? Play Nintendo with seasoning, no. You know, Tommy on that get money. And now one of his inner circle he finds in the damn alley with the mother feds on some yin-yang twins. On some yin-yang twins whisper type. Wait till you see my Wait till you see my Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. Wait till you see my Vic was up in the damn alley on that hush-hush, on that goddamn yin-yang. Y'all don't know what the I'm talking about. Like in the most appropriate circles. This is a quote-unquote death sentence. But after Tommy had Vic pop Vargas, he ain't give it no extra thought. He don't want to believe the half of it. And just a bit earlier in a previous episode, caught old Diamond coming up out of a law enforcement vehicle. You know, when Seamus was shaking his ass down. Gave Diamond the benefit of the doubt. I guess he figured he gotta trust somebody. And ain't nobody he trusts more right now than Diamond and Vic. 'Cause Tommy on that Dipset anthem. Yeah, I see a town I'm liking. Hold up. Tommy like, yeah, I see a town I'm liking. See getting money in a town, I like it. Whoa. I run up on them with the pound and light it. Like it's my block now, alright, kid? Hand on my handles, listening to gangster music. But Tommy ain't got no crew with him. So we kinda need partners right about now. All I know is there should have been 2 bodies in that alley when Tommy left. But that's not how it went down. He get to searching the car for trackers, you know, 'cause he don't understand how Vargas knew where he would be. I mean, they damn near just got there. He looking on the outside of the car, under the hood, the wheel wells and you know, places where a tracker might usually be. Vic get to looking inside the goddamn car. Tommy like, what is you doing? Of course Vic finds said tracker. Of course he found it 'cause he put it there. He pop up like, damn it, Tommy, I done found something. Vic was in that car no more than 10 seconds flat. Tommy still ain't put 2 and 2 together. Now he's super shook. Gives Vic some instruction. And the 2 of them piece up out of there separately. Leave Vargas' body to look like a robbery happened. Tommy head back to the crib, checking for trackers, bugs, you know. Wakes up Mireya, and they get a little rap. Tommy finds out that Che's daughter is having a little celebration, you know, a quinceañera for his daughter. And she and the family going, you know, her, McDowell, Grandma. And they decide to catch up afterwards. Tommy leaves back out. At some point, Tommy catches up with Diamond, who is fresh up off some ass and cheese grits. Courtesy of Gianna, Leon's mom, you know. Looked like Diamond spent the night at her crib, and now she up in the kitchen the next morning on that Adina Howard, on that t-shirt with my panties on. Served him up some cheese grits with a side of meat. Looked like he had a good night. Man looked like he getting his fill of meat up at Low Boo spot, you know. Diamond creeping around inside the house. He a little concerned about getting too comfortable, you know, 'cause 2 men do live there. 1 man and 1 young man. And she tell him Leon will be home later. And Leon dad will be home tomorrow. Ain't that some Like she hella comfy with another man just up in her crib. Like her neighbors ain't about that nosy life. You know, it ain't like she's sitting on an acre where she might have some room to be a little more discreet about that creepage. Funny thing is, she tells him she know who he is, like who he is. Said the neighbors told her, ran his whole rap sheet down. Said she know he sold drugs, is the head of CBI, not just in CBI, the head of CBI. She like, I ain't tripping though. I'm still gonna give you this sweet ass. But not at the expense of my son getting caught up in your BS. Now, if the neighbor told her ass about Diamond, she got to know that some other neighbor about to hear and be told about Diamond and her ass creeping around on her man in her man house. So I creep, yeah, just creeping on the down low. But it wasn't on the down low, was it? They wasn't in no hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. No. They was in that man's crib. Like homie still lived there. Anyway, Diamond and Tommy meet up. You know, Diamond pieced up out of there after his cheese grits was over. Tommy tells Diamond that Vic popped Vargas. Tells Diamond they gotta tighten up. Said they need to check for bugs, that they spots move product around the whole shebang. Also tells him that Che back in town. An opportunity awaits. Tells Diamond he want to get the Sons of Destruction on their side, the SODs, the Serbs' largest buyer since Merkovich about to run out of product. And he gonna put the word out that McDowell personally asked Che to cut the Serbs off, get the Serbs beefing with McDowell. And while they warring, Tommy and Diamond scoring, snatching up all the customers, eating all the dots like goddamn Pac-Man, running that business up, you know. Says he gonna meet with Che while Che in town, show him what they been building, while the Serbs and Miguel beefing. Tells Diamond he need to meet with the SODs while he take care of that Che chat. Meanwhile, Vic up in his crib, like the fourth goddamn ghetto boy or some His mind was playing tricks on his ass. He having dreams and nightmares like Meek Mill of a dead Vargas. Shortly after, feds come and snatch his ass up, bring him in for a little questioning. Of course, Vic don't know what happened, of course. Says Vargas never showed up to the meet. Gives them the necklace he had on when he and Tommy met up with the DSDs. Downplayed their whole little fishing expedition, 'cause fish they did. And they accused him of trying to protect Tommy. But they ain't have nothing on Vic, so eventually they let him piece up out of there. Told player not to leave town. Now, Stacy Marks ain't none too happy about this, you know. Since one of her men died, decides she gonna run down on folks, you know. Show them some strength in these streets. Little show of force, bust some heads. Look like Stacy got a fully loaded clip. About to be on that shit. And she get to running down on Tommy on the street. Ran his whole car down. Says she don't appreciate no New York death-faking, CBI associating player who possibly a player hater. You know, if she got something to say about some of these deaths popping up in her town. Asks about Vargas and what he knows about his death. Of course, Tommy played it cool. She shows him a pic of him and Mireya in the whip. You know, that day they went driving, went to the local zoo and shit. Says when Miguel find out you body rocking, knocking the stuffing out his little sister boots, we gonna find your body next, player, out in these streets. They piece up out of there, leave Tommy to whatever the hell he was eating. Tommy a eating mofo. Like, Tommy always stuffing his grill. He finish his grub, call up his lawyer Jenny Sue. Heads over to Vic's, tells him the feds on him, tells him the U.S. attorney just rolled up on him. And everybody on the team about to get a little visit to see who squeals when the pressure is tight. Vic like, if I were you, I'd be keeping my eye on that sneaky mofo Jenard. Tells Tommy about the deal Claudia offered Jenard with the Serbs. And even though he told Tommy Jenard passed on the deal, knows that once he tells Tommy, the damage is done. Cause he know Jenard probably ain't tell Tommy ass about it. Is already on Tommy's short list, all of Tommy goddamn lists. You know, cause Jenard has been known to be a rival and a fiend. Connections be damned. And possibly now disloyal. So now the stench of Swiss cheese is now headed in the direction of his sister and Jenard's shady ass. You know, that rat cheese. Tommy like, you just telling me? Tells Vic to stay put till he holler back. Ooh, that's my shit. That's my shit. Tommy head back to the barbershop basement, you know, headquarters. Get to summoning Jenard's ass. Jenard come up in the spot. Tommy put immediate hands on Jenard's ass. Like he was his pops and shit. Him Jenard ass up, get to choking the shit out of Jenard. Questions if Jenard working with Claudia. He like, where you hear that, Vic? Tommy gives him a minute to clear the air, you know, explain himself. Tells Tommy what he already knew, which was that he passed on Claudia and her deal. Says he don't work with the Europeans like that, you know. He like, you forget who the I am. I ran CBI for 15 years while Diamond was locked up. Hit him with that Jay-Z. Said, you know, he used to beat the block. Now he bees the block. He think he talking to? Jenard like, if I were you, I'd be keeping my good eye, on that shady ass mofo Vic. He ain't never lied about that. Cause we know Vic out of damn control right about now in these streets. Vic like, killing ass old dog from Menace and snitching ass Pookie from New Jack. He like a bunch of mofos wrapped up in one black bean chili pepper laced burrito right about now. Vic is one spicy ass mofo slithering on these streets right about now. Tommy believed what he heard. Tells Jenard to let him worry about Vic's ass. Tells him he bet not ever have convo with Claudia ass again and not inform his superiors. And that he can't be up in CBI keeping secrets and shit, you know. Can't have no new addition mofos up in CBI. Ooh, my secret, ooh, sparks begin to fly. I don't give a damn if you ran it, founded it, destroyed it. This my shit now, and you best to recognize. Tommy pieced up out of there, Jenard looking like mofo. I'm gonna kill your ass at some point. Speaking of Claudia ass, somewhere on the other side of town, Claudia head down to Shanti gym, to catch up with Shanti. Tells her that her new boo, Elise, got him set up in some new clubs. The Viagra Triangle. Sound like a spot where a bunch of old cats go to get their drink on, Viagra pill pop on, and then of course they Missy Elliott. Get that freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. How the f you gonna be on Viagra and Molly or whatever drug Shanti crew be pushing on them customers? Sound like to me you want one or the other. But what the f do I know, I'm just a poor boy. I need no sympathy. Shanti ain't feeling that at all. Ain't feeling the fact that she just getting told about this after the fact. Not feeling the love or the trust. And Claudia bring the temperature down. Lets her know everything irie. No disrespect, man. My bad. Shanti tell Claudia, with no mention of the goddamn words, if she do it again, that's her natural ass. Claudia pieced the hell up out of there. At some point gets a visit from Merkovich. He skipped all the damn pleasantries. Came up in Claudia's spot. He like, why the f you ain't tell me you pushing pills? Up in them Viagra Triangle clubs, And where the f is my cut? Get to fixing himself a little drink. He like, Tommy on that ass, right? She like, yeah, but what's love got to do with it, player? Our business with you is on the north side. Merkovich reminds her that his men protect her wherever she goes. And that being the case, if business is done during that protection detail, whether on the north side, south side, riverside, well, they want in on that business. And that's the cost of doing business from his perspective. Now she know she ain't got no choice. And he lets her know he knows that she can kick rocks. Because she got no better options. What the f she gonna do about it? Except make herself a damn drink and get over herself. And that's just what the f she does. And they toast to her pockets getting a little lighter and his getting a little fatter. The Serbs need all the cash they can get right about now. If a goddamn quarter get dropped in the park, these mofos is picking it up. 'Cause it's that dire for the Serbs at this point. Justin Merkovich's man lets him know that Tommy meeting with the SODs. Merkovich like, that's our last damn cash cow. Time to dead Tommy ass. But unless Merkovich got a new connect, I don't know how he's supplying anybody right about now. So whatever Tommy doing, Merkovich just feeling the sting of Tommy kicking that ass while he already down. And sting it does. Hold up, y'all. I need to re-up to turn up. And as the well-to-do say, freshen up my drink. One sec.
Let's talk about the best, the worst. Started from birth with the gift and the curse. Now I'm spitting the verse just to talk about whenever I'm spitting the verse. Feels like my words splitting the earth in two. Got him talking.
All right. Meanwhile, across town, The leader of the DSD's Chavo, up in McDowell's spot. Power Book Force folks, the writers, love they goddamn acronyms, don't they? DSDs, SODs, PYTs. Where did you come from, baby? And ooh, won't you take me there? Gotta wait, dong dong bing dang. Goddamn DSDs, SODs, PYTs. McDowell trying to get that business popping. Cause DSDs was getting their work from the Serbs. So McDowell figured he gonna step in, make a play for that business. But he a day late and $1 short. Cause Tommy already got that business. He tells Chavo, like y'all must be in a little tight spot, thinking that he got Chavo ass. He like, let's Latinos, let's work together. But Chavo ain't really feeling McDowell, All of this United Latino front he trying to put on right now. Cause as he told Tommy when they met up, when Tommy secured that bag from Chavo, told Tommy that McDowell think he better than them, better than the Puerto Ricans. But he about that business, so he hears McDowell out. McDowell offers him a G off a key, a G less than what they was paying the Serbs. Chavo like, nah, player, I'm good. McDowell like, you sure though? You don't want to be out in them streets without that food. You don't want to be looking like the Serbs is looking right about now. Chavo like, I made a deal with the Blanquito. The gringo. You know the one. Tommy. The cat who rolled with CBI now. Looked like McDowell's head was about to pop off. He like, Tommy. This Tommy. Tell Chavo, Tommy get his product from me, goddammit. Chavo like, then I'm already your customer, player. He like, I think I'm just gonna roll with Tommy. He feel like the State Farm of distributors. No beefs with Egan. No wars, no egos. Just business. Like a good neighbor. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. McDowell's head looked like it was about to pop the off. He up in his head deciding which Wu-Tang torture chamber he gonna be on with Tommy and Diamond when he catch up with they asses. Chavo piece up out of there. Speaking of Diamond, he up in the barbershop. His P.O. coming. P.O. coming in the door. Another mofo going out with a duffel. He looking at homie like every time I come up in this piece, somebody carrying a large-ass bag about this establishment. Mofos shouldn't be leaving out this joint with more. They should be leaving with less. Like less damn hair. Mofos coming out with care packages and shit. He let it go though. But he damn sure did peep it. Gets a little rap with Diamond. Tells Diamond his speech at the fundraiser was hella inspiring. Tells him 25 guns were turned in that day. No piss test today. It's a good day, just a friendly check-in. Keep up the good work, big player. A little later, Diamond gets a visit from Gianna and Leon while he's still in the barbershop. And Leon tells him he's going to be on TV for an interview, about his anti-violence campaign. Asks Diamond if he can help him out. Go over his presentation and his presentation skills. Liked how Diamond did his thing at his speech. Said he needed him tonight to give a little bit of pointers to him. Diamond cool with that. But the time frame Leon needed him in is the time frame he's supposed to meet with the SODs. Now Gianna done got in his head a little, about who he is and who he isn't. So he decides to miss the SOD meet and put a little time into little player Leon. Meanwhile, Tommy and Vic outside the SOD spot, ready to head up in on that business. Waiting on Diamond, but Diamond ain't showing up today. Instead, Jenard makes the appearance. Tommy ain't none too happy about this right here, about the news. But they already there. Jenard a little apprehensive about the situation, because the relationship with the SODs ain't always been on good terms. Tommy gives him a little prep talk before they head in, almost like your mama would before she would take your ass up in a Kmart. She'd be like, look, when we get up in here, you don't want don't ask for you ain't getting. Tommy prep his crew. He like, look, we need to build this coalition and get the Serbs the up out of here. That's the goal. But if go left, shoot to kill. Tommy got on that mad lion. Shoot to kill. Every day. Shoot to kill a sound boy. Love without a limit. Tommy got on that goddamn mad lion. Y'all know what the I'm talking about. They go up in the spot. SODs was strategically lined up for CBI ass. They was in that goddamn Beyonce formation. Tommy making his case as to why they should be working together, All of a sudden, one of the warehouse doors open up. Like up in the city. Like a mofo opening up the bodega for the day's business. This must have been Mad Lion Week or some shit. But was it nobody on that take it easy? Gotta take it easy. Why? Gotta take it easy. No. Nobody was on that take it easy. Serbs come up in that joint blast. Shoot to kill. Every day. Shoot to kill sound boy. Love without a limit. They get the blasting up in that piece. Mofo slid that door open. Open up shop on Tommy and SOD ass. Had the lock key and all of that. After they got the word that SODs was meeting with Tommy, decided to stop by. Didn't know whether SODs agreed to work with Tommy or not. Didn't matter. Ain't like the fact the meeting was even happening. Shots were fired. Couple cats met Jesus. But none of the main characters, on either side, was hit. And this somewhat emotional ass response from the Serbs just cost them. The Serbs, that is. They should have let that shit play out. And maybe the SODs wouldn't have liked Tommy's ass, Decided not to do business with him. But what Merkovich just did when he bust up in there and got the gun busting was hand himself a loss and hand Tommy a win. Because he left up out of there minus a few cats, and a client. And Tommy left up out of there with his old client, the SODs. Because the head SOD player, he was now like, the Serbs. Come up in my place of business. Leave it smelling like gun smoke. Left that smelling like a goddamn western town. They like, oh, hell nah. We rolling with Rush. Nah, Rush Town Management. And Tommy and crew piece up out of there. Subsequently, Jenard also is handed a win. Because one cat was about to mash Tommy ass out. Jenard had to drop on his ass, though, sent his ass to the crossroads. Tommy peeped it, and this appears to have set straight between him and Tommy. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Mireya, McDowell, and the family up at Che's daughter's quinceañera. McDowell expresses his love for his little sister. They getting a little rap, or so McDowell was trying to do. He expressed his love for his little sister. Mireya expresses her desire to have her brother stay about her business. Get about my business, my business. Stay the about my business. Cause it's my B.I. Roll out. Roll out. Grandma up in there getting a little rap with Che. He tells her war is not good for his pockets. And that's why he been telling Miguel to stand down against the Serbs or anyone else when it comes to beef. At some point, Che gets up to celebrate with his daughter. Little father-daughter dancing and stuff, When that happens, Miguel goes over, talks to Grandma, tells Grandma that Tommy doing business with the Division Street Devils, the DSDs. Grandma like, you need to dead his ass. Cause he on that looter. Everybody on that looter tonight. Tells Miguel Tommy coming for that #1 spot. Also tells him to be aware of one member of his crew. The real menacing looking cat. Says he got disloyal potential if you mistreat him, Tells Miguel to make some moves that make big player feel appreciated. Hook him up. Call it what you want. But Grandma got game. Grandma got game. Next thing we see, Tommy pop up in the spot. Mireya is horrified. Miguel immediately makes his way over to him. Like, what the is you doing? Get the hell up out of here. Tommy get on that Alicia Silverstone, get on that Clueless. Starts to make a little scene up in the joint which gets Che's attention, as is planned. He like, what up, Miguel? I'm just here for the party, Why you hating on me right now? Che come over like, who this? And Tommy introduces himself to the chagrin of Miguel and Grandma. Tells Shay that Miguel is the best, He couldn't have a better distro. And due to him and Che's product, says he put together a hellified crew. That's all about that business, no war. Said they all making hella money on some United Nations of hustlers type shit out here, no war. Now Tommy ain't just talking. This mofo singing Che's #1 love language. And that's the dollar bill, y'all, cash rules everything around Che. Tommy then thanks Che. Hit him with a little Spanish even, a little Espanol. Then he hit Che with a little gift for his daughter and all of that. Tommy in mad violation. At this point, catching that flagrant foul. There's a foul on the play. But Tommy don't give a f***. And Che is intrigued like a mofo. Look kind of proud too, He like, this is how business is supposed to be done. None of that bullshit. Che like, somebody get this man a drink. Cause this the gringo that keep all our pockets fat. Miguel and Grandma looking at Tommy ass like he El Diablo in the goddamn flesh. But Tommy don't give a good goddamn. Cause he look at Che like he Colonel Sanders and some shit, Cause Che got that secret recipe. That special blend of coke that come with 11 herbs and spices. The blend that keep all the customers coming back for more. Sees a vision of him doing business with Che, minus Miguel, and old ass Grandma. And Tommy there to make his play. Make his whole damn presence known, Once Tommy tell Che how he saved Miguel's life from the Serbs, Che like, oh, now I know I like this mofo. Tommy continued to drop his science until he see Mireya piece up out of there in a huff. Shortly pieces out after her, leaving Miguel and Grandma to question which goddamn Wu-Tang torture chamber they about to be on. Grandma about to get in on the damn torture. Tommy catches up with Mireya outside, and she ain't really feeling his ass right about now. Feels like Tommy used her to get to Che, cause she told him about the quinceañera, and that Che would be there. And now here Tommy is, and they get to arguing. She like, Miguel will kill the both of us. But Tommy ain't trying to hear nothing she's saying. Ain't worried about no damn Miguel. She piece up out of there, get back to her crib. Mireya ain't even have a second to take her damn coat off. Pass gas, turn the TV on, or none of that shit. Here comes Stacy Marks, knocking on the goddamn door. Tells Mireya she know about her, Tommy, and her family. Says she involved with a dangerous little player, talking about Tommy. Says if she keep kicking it with Tommy, she could be in danger or put in some cuffs if she around when she come for Tommy ass, Told her that Rico is coming and that she don't want no parts of it. Drops Lakeisha Grant's name on Mireya's ass. Now that's exactly what a little playette want. Somebody coming around telling them about they man's other chick or some other chick. Leaves Mireya waiting on Tommy ass. To find out who the hell Lakeisha is. She like, who the f*** is this? Stacy Marks piece up out of there. Gets to chatting with DeFranco, who tells her they found Vargas's logbook. Found out Vargas was at the meat spot. Now they know Vic ass lying. And they bring Vic ass back in. Show Vic the logbook. Now last time they was fishing. This time they whale chasing. Tell Vic ass he going to prison. And if he don't implicate Tommy, he gonna be there for a long ass time. Cause Stacy think he covering for Tommy, She get to leaning on Vic. tells him his deal is null and void. She like, all right, if Tommy ain't going down for it, you will. 'Cause one of y'all mofos did it. So pick one. Of course, you know what Vic do. Vic got on that shaggy. He like it wasn't me. I even had her in the shower. Wasn't me. She even caught me on camera. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. It wasn't me. He like, you know what? On second thought, it was Tommy's ass. She like, uh-huh, that's what I thought. Now, while all this was going on with Tommy, Diamond on the other side of town, still up in the barbershop, giving pointers to Lil Leon. You know, showing him how to tie a tie, giving him the kind of pep talk that he probably should be getting from his pops. But hell, shouldn't matter where you get it, as long as you get it. And get it Leon does. He eating up all of that good shit. You know, feeling good about himself, as little players should. You know, 'cause Lil Leon a good dude, trying to do something good for his community. Diamond walked Leon back to his crib, daps him up about to roll out. It's been a good little time spent between the two of them. Just then some cats roll up on Leon. Same cats that harassed his ass before, outside the barbershop. Look like they got their sights on Lil Player, rolled up on him. Called him a bitch ass. Call Lil Player a bitch ass and all of that. Get to putting a little hands on Leon. You know how it go. These cats seemed to not be in appreciation of Leon's little anti-drug campaign, you know. Came at him before about the same. Coming at him again now that he about to make his next speech. Trying to make the block hot and shit, you know. Motherfuckers don't appreciate that. Potentially fucking up they situation on them streets. Now Leon took that ass whooping before. He took that. But he coming up fresh off of Diamond's inspired words. Been working out with Diamond a little bit, you know. Diamond had Leon ass on that Mr. Miyagi plan. You know, that Karate Kid. Leon-san. Wax on, wax off. Leon was on that Nas. He like, I know I can be what I want to be. Why? 'Cause Diamond told him so. Wasn't taking no ass whooping today. Leon was bout it. Leon like, what's up, little player? You want to fight? Took his little jacket off and put it up on the fence. Leon was about that business. Didn't matter that it was two of them, both bigger than Leon. Didn't matter that one or both of them might be packing a gun. Or the fact that they had come at him before and could keep coming at him again. You know, didn't matter. Little Leon get to rolling up his sleeves. Got on that Tina Marie. Got on that square biz, you know. I'm talking square biz to you, baby. Square biz. I'm talking love, that is. Squared up on little player. Hit him with a two-piece. No biscuit. Drop little player. Diamond watching like a proud pops. He like, hell yeah. Leon was on cloud damn 9. You know, he put homie on the flow. Leon was on cloud 9, turned his back to the little homie and everything. He like, I did it, just like you told me. I thought this mofo was gonna hit the Rocky Balboa jump for joy and shit, you know. Getting stronger. This little mofo forgot his ass was on a goddamn Chicago street in the goddamn hood. What he saw and heard was elation from his new role model, till it wasn't. What he missed was that little player was in the game and just got embarrassed in front of everybody. Had gotten up and was now in position to smoke Lil Leon boots. Before Leon knew anything, that gun went blah-bow. Only reason Leon even turned back the little player was cause Diamond went from hell yeah to a goddamn Bounty Quicker Picker Upper commercial. Diamond was like, no. Diamond was like, no, when he saw a little homie pull that piece out. Leon ain't have a second to pass gas when he turned around. It was boom bye-bye on that ass. Sent Lil Leon knocking on heaven's door. Boom, 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 boom. See you at the crossroads. Little players took off. Diamond raced over, tried to console Leon, you know, with holding the body. Leon shot the hell up, called 911, you know. But it wasn't shit he could do. It was too late. At some point later, Gianna come back around, you know, from whatever the she was doing. Hella activity on her block. Comes to realize her little boo gone. Her worst fear, any mother's worst fear, realized. The sad part is that Lil Leon was home, about to walk into his crib. Grim Reaper was waiting on his ass. Grim Reaper was on that damn Michelle Indigeo cello. Here I sit outside your door. Talk to me. Death was waiting outside his motherfucking door. Ain't that some shit? Next thing we see, Leon bitch-ass father run up on Diamond P.O. Throw some dirt on Diamond name. Says he got close to his son, and now Leon dead. Told him Diamond was playing him. Got in his P.O. head on some old sucker shit, like he's still selling drugs. Filling this man's head with nonsense, with additional skepticism. I mean, Diamond was still selling drugs. But he ain't know it. Well, maybe he did. I don't know, but he Diamond whole shit up. Now, at this point, Diamond World is rocked. Was just starting to feel Lil Leon ass, you know. Like he was putting some good back into the world. Sans Leon. Trying to get his life together, you know. Make sense of who he is as a person. And now, partially because of him indirectly, Lil Leon gone. He up in the barbershop with a big-ass bottle of that white liquor. Sipping on that vodka. One of his duffel bag boys come in, you know, duffel bagged up. Now go and get your money, little duffel bag boy. Now go and get your money, little duffel bag boy. Diamond give his ass a hard way to go. But he tell Diamond, hey, look, Tommy told me to keep the stash moving. So that's what the I'm doing. So off to the basement he heads. But not so fast. Diamond tells him to drop the bags and get the out. Hesitantly he does. Next thing we know, Diamond taking that hustler shower. You know, that rare moment when a player might just shower himself in the loot. Dump all the money, all the drugs all over his body. You know, usually in a celebratory manner. Like, holy shit, I'm rich. Moment of temporary insanity or delight. But that ain't what Diamond was on, none of them shits. But that's what he did. Dumped the bricks and the bands all over his ass. Sitting in the barber chair. Was all over the floor. You know, Diamond P.O. just happened to come check on his parolee at the wrong goddamn time. Off that bullshit that Leon Pops put him on. Now, Diamond already looked like he falling off the damn wagon. But what happened next was like Diamond out the motherfucking plane. Because after the hustler shower he just took, a bloodbath was next. My God. Let's step away for a second though. Because on the other side of town, Jenard get back to chatting with Shanti, you know. After leaving to meet up with the SODs. Jenard like, I could have popped Tommy. She like, nah, that's good. Because now we trust you. He tells her of his concern about her dealings with Claudia. He like, yo, it's only a matter of time before Tommy find out. And they get to warring with Tommy's ass, and they don't want that. She agrees, tells him the problem has since exacerbated, grown in proportion since they last talked about it. 'Cause see, earlier Claudia let Shanti know about the Serbs cutting their way in on the business. So she explains this to Jenard, who tells her she about to fuck it up for all of them. And she decides they need to get out in front of this. Go to meet up with Tommy. Shanti like, look, I got into this thinking I could con Claudia. Hand her over to you as a peace offering. You know, lying her ass off. Tells him Jenard ain't like it. Figured they needed to tell Tommy. So here they are. Now why Tommy ain't hit her like Merkovich hit Claudia and asked where his cut was, I don't know. But he didn't. Tells him to keep working with Claudia, but to keep him informed. Jenard tells Tommy what's up with Diamond, you know, what happened with Lil Leon, and that Diamond about to go off the deep end, you know, that the brother is taking this in a little too personally, you know, a much heart to heart. But that wasn't the worst of the news Tommy was going to get tonight. Because shortly after he catches up with Jenny Sue. And she tells him they got a snitch up in the crew. Tommy head out to catch up with Diamond to tell him the news about the snitch. Finds Diamond sitting in a barber chair with all the drugs and all the cash on the floor. Door unlocked, blinds partly unblinded, you know. Tommy like, what the is happening here? Start to picking shit up off the floor. Diamond like, nah, man. Don't clean this shit up. This is who I am. Like he wanna get caught. Diamond was on some shit. Looked like he was ready to get sent back up and all of that. Feeling like he deserved it too. Said all he was a drug dealer. One who gets kids killed. Just then Diamond P.O. come in. He like, what the is going on up in here? P.O. had him dead to rights. Tommy about to pop his ass. But Diamond like, nah. Nodded to Tommy like, I got this. P.O. getting on Diamond shit. He like, so it's true. You are selling drugs again. Making me look like a goddamn fool out in these streets. Get the cuffs out to take Diamond's ass in. Tommy like, little player, I would not do that. Turns toward Tommy for a quick sec. You know, to check Tommy's temperature. Like Tommy was a threat. But it wasn't Tommy's temperature that needed checking. It was hot-ass Diamond, whose pressure was all the way up. And while the P.O. looking at Tommy, Diamond get to slicing the shit out of his P.O. neck. He sliced that bitch like it was marble cake. Like he put a goddamn Freddy Krueger slash on my man's neck with that thick-ass barber blade. Like Diamond ass was quicker than Jumpin' Jack Flash up in that. You got to be quicker than that. Sliced his whole shit up. His was squirting water hose streams. Tommy ass is in total disbelief. Like, who the am I in business with? You know, cause up to this point, he ain't seen Diamond like this. Done seen a chill ass, even keel Diamond. But he had to know what was in him. I mean, the man was the head of CBI, had a body or two. Cats up in prison cause of him. Cats crippled cause of him. Tommy just ain't never seen it. Hit him with that Ha-Ha Davis. Hit Diamond with that I ain't never seen you act like this look. Then Tommy disbelief turned to sheer delight. Tommy looked pleased as like that's what the I'm talking about. He's smiling like a mofo. P.O. on the floor trying to salvage the pieces of the Grand Canyon that used to be his neck. Cause nothing really matters to Diamond at this point. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters.